Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Music and Moonsaults. I am your host, Chris Bourdine, and it is the Wrestling Wayback Machine, episode 12. And we are going to all together watch the LAX versus Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles Steel Cage NWA Tag Team Championship match from Bound for Glory 2006. But before we do that, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Now in its second year of running, subscribe and leave a thumbs up on the video and leave a comment and just share it. Share it around. Tell your friends. Come join us over here at Music and Moonsaults. Also, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/music and moonsaults. And for audio, anchor.fm/Christopher-Bourdine5. So, as I said, LAX versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Bound for Glory 2006 took place. It was the first TNA pay-per-view where they went on the road. Everything had been at Universal Studios Orlando up to this point. But in October of 2006, they decided to go on the road, and they came to my neck of the woods. They say Detroit. It's technically Plymouth, Michigan, which is, a suburb or whatever. And actually, like 7 months before this, in March, it was St. Patrick's Day of 2006. I know that because it was also Matt Durr's birthday, and that's the reason why we went. They had a TNA held a house show in the same building. At the time, it's called CompuWare Arena because it was the home of the Plymouth Whalers junior hockey team, owned by Peter Carmanos, who was the owner of CompuWare, and he also owned the Carolina Hurricanes and which were formerly the Plymouth Whalers in the NHL. Moved them to Carolina, and they became the Hurricanes. And now it's the home of the USA under 18 junior national team. It's their home arena where they play and get ready for competition. So, but anyways, they had a house show here in March, and we all went because it was on Matt's birthday. And it was from what I remember, it was a fun show. There was AJ Styles and Samoa Joe wrestled, which, I mean, how can you go wrong there? Christian Cage was there. ICP was there. They wrestled Team Canada. And they did this spot where Scott D'Amore somehow lost his glasses and couldn't see, and therefore performed a Canadian Destroyer on one of the other members of Team Canada, which is a funny bit. Really good show. I don't remember attendance-wise whether it was full or not. I mean, it's not a very big arena to begin with, but. So it's not like it. I mean, 5,000 maybe. I don't know. Let's do some crack research. Right on. Why not? Let's see here. CompuWare Arena. Capacity. About 3,500 to 40. Yeah. So under 5,000. So, yeah. Anyways. So then they announced this pay-per-view. By this time, my discretionary income, because it's a long story. I had moved out of my parents' house for reasons, not because of my family. My family's great. The person in my life at the time heavily influenced me that I should move out of my parents' house. before I was ready, and it ended up being a huge mistake. But enough of that. So yeah, I moved out. Matt and I actually were sharing an apartment at this time, and we obviously didn't go, but we decided we got to, we got to watch this pay-per-view. So we had a big party when we moved in for SummerSlam of this year, and then we watched Unforgiven of 2006 also, and then this is like our third straight month of buying wrestling pay-per-views. And we chose this over whatever, I guess it would have been No Mercy 2006, but it was the debut in TNA of Kurt Angle. He would go on to become he would be the special enforcer for the main event between Jeff Jarrett and Sting. Sting would win the NWA title from Jeff Jarrett. In that main event, there was an 8-mile street fight between Christian and Rhino. And then there's this match, and this is the match that I remember, what I remember most about this show. So we're gonna watch it. It's actually, the match is on YouTube for free from the Impact Wrestling account. So the title is LAX versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, full match, Bound for Glory 2006. So I'll include a link in the description. They actually just watched this over at latenightgrin.com a couple nights ago as I'm recording this. And so it kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but it's all right. Those guys are cool. Love those guys. They can do what they want. I actually had a different plan for the month that kind of fell through. So this is my backup plan. So we're just going to watch this, and I'm going to kind of talk about it. So like I said, I'll give you a moment. Like I said, the link's in the description. On both the video and the audio, so it might be easier for you to go over on your podcast app, whatever one you choose, and have this going while you're watching it on your television, or whatever's easiest for you. I'll give you a minute, but we're gonna start right at zeros here. And it's not a very long match too, so that's good. It's 18 minutes and 45 seconds. So that's kind of what we're shooting for here. So, all right. So I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, then play, and then we're all going to press play on this. So, 3, 2, 1, play. And you can tell they loaded this when they were really when Jarrett had kind of come back in the fold, and they were trying to merge Impact and Global Force Wrestling. And before it came Impact Plus, it was the Global Wrestling Network or something like that. So that was the first thing you see. And here comes LAX to the ring. Homicide and Hernandez with Conan in tow. The Latin American Exchange. Not a very good... that sign would not fly today. Conan mows my lawn would not be a very acceptable sign in today's society, thankfully. So, and now I got a random ad in the middle of this, so hopefully you don't have that. So if you don't have an ad, press pause for a second. And I will tell you. There we go. So I'm at exactly 1 minute. And LAX are making their way. Homicide's climbing the cage because he's crazy. We've got Don West and Mike Tenay on commentary. So, LAX has some support in this crowd. A couple LAX t-shirts out there, but seems like they were getting this finishing putting this cage up at the very last minute. I mean, again, it's a small arena, so it's not like, most places now where they suspend the cage from the roof or from the ceiling in the arena. Like, that's not the kind of arena they were in, so wasn't exactly an option. So, and then there's 6 sides to put up instead of 4. So, here we go. Now comes out AJ and Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel. And this is right. I've talked about it before. This is right when, like, if AJ Styles is probably my second favorite wrestler at the time. Shawn Michaels was number 1 always, but at this time, especially because like Jericho was on hiatus and stuff like that, at this time AJ Styles is my second favorite wrestler. And they got those NWA. I like those NWA tag team title belts. And I actually, when they switched over the TNA tag belts, I like those too, but these NWA belts are really, really cool looking. The interplay between Tanay and West is at the time, and like I'm still not a big Don West guy. I think there's and it sounds like his if I'm not mistaken, his cancer or whatever health difficulty he was going through seems to be he seems to be on the come up on that. So that's all well and good. But I think there seems to be, even before that, there seems to be this revisionist history where people think Don West was actually good. And I don't think that. Like, I don't. I listen to Don West now. Like, I don't actively hate it like I did at the time. Now I can kind of appreciate the over the topness of it. At the time, I straight hated Don West. I thought he was the worst announcer. But and now here's an interesting, and they talked about it over at latenightgrin.com when they watched this match. The idea of tagging in a steel cage match. I think it's a step that doesn't need to be added. It's it's a storytelling device they use early in the match, but by the end of the match, it all breaks down anyway. So, but I could take it or leave it, I guess. And that classic AJ Styles drop kick. We got some quick tags here. Daniel's back in the ring. I think this is an underrated tag team of Daniels and Styles too. Obviously, especially with AJ, the heights his career would go on to. But as far as a tag team, like, they were really good here in the middle of 2006. That kip up Hurricanrana and a backbreaker from AJ. AJ still rocking the like the biker shorts here. And no gloves, which is a little odd to see. Oh. Homicide ducks and AJ eats some cage. And now here comes the big man, Hernandez. They're talking about the Commentary's talking about the perils of the cage and how it's a cheese grater. Oh. And having a guy like Hernandez in this match that can kind of be the powerhouse and toss around the smaller guys is really effective too. Attempted tornado DDT that's blocked by Daniels, but then he eats a clothesline by Hernandez. And LAX is taking control here. And I think the month before this, they did an Ultimate X match for the tag team titles that Daniels and Styles won. I don't even know if I've seen that match, or if I have, it's been a long time. So I might have to check that out too. Kind of watch this in reverse. Get our first near fall, and Daniels kicks out at 2. Overhead throw by Homicide on Daniels. And we got another ad coming up. So go ahead, hit pause. I don't understand why there's so many ads on this. Kind of ticks me off. I'm not paying the money for YouTube Premium. Not going to do it. So I guess I'll just have to deal with it. All right, we can skip this one. All right, 8 minutes. Press play. Daniels just kicks out of Hernandez pin attempt. Tags Homicide back in. And then we get like a quick fade to black and back in. I think the story with that is when they would just go show these matches on TV in Canada. Oh, and Homicide's got a fork and stabs Daniels in the head with it. Abdullah the Butcher style. Oh, he's working over that forehead with the fork. Oh, it's just stabbing him. My God. But I guess and he wiped the blood on his own face. So that's not sanitary. So they would show these on TV, and so they'd have to add in like commercial breaks, obviously. And I don't know, like, if after that they threw away the masters or what the deal is, but like it doesn't matter if you watch it here on YouTube or if you watch it on the Impact Plus app or what the deal is. Those little ad break spots are in no matter what, which is kind of annoying because it breaks up the flow a little bit, but it's only for like a split second and it's right back. So Homicide, power bombs Daniels into the cage and then a set out power bomb. And Daniels is a crimson mask after that assault with the fork. And now Homicide with a bottle of tequila, and he spits tequila into the bloody forehead of Christopher Daniels. That would burn. That would burn a lot. What we got going on here? Both men are on the top rope. Looks like Homicide was going for some sort of cutter off the top. But Daniels counters into like a hip toss arm drag type thing off the top rope. AJ's got a little blood on his forehead too, but nowhere near as much as Daniels does. AJ's got the hot tag. There's that. Oh my god, that move is so smooth. The moonsault into the reverse DDT. I will never get tired of seeing that. And then he does a springboard forearm to Hernandez. And as I said, now we're in the part of the match where the tags really don't matter. So I probably would have preferred if they just went tornado tag from the get-go, but given the structure, I kind of get it. Double flapjack to Hernandez into the cage. And I'm at 12, 22, 23, 24, 25 for those of you watching along. Referee Earl Hebner. And now Daniels and AJ are kind of using their speed to their advantage here. And now they're doing the cheese grater move onto Hernandez on the cage. It's more of a jumping enziguri to Homicide. But Dynamite's called a Pele kick. Daniels now turnabout is fair play. Got the fork. Now AJ stabs Homicide with the fork. Oh, and he's really carving into him. Ooh. STO by Daniels. We're kind of trading. Everyone's getting a turn, and Homicide just barrels through Daniels. Now we get a proper Pele kick from AJ to Hernandez. TNA chants from the Detroit crowd. So this is a really good match. This is really good stuff. Uh-oh, AJ's climbing. What's he got in his head? Homicide trying to stop him. Now Hernandez trying to stop him. AJ fighting back. He's on the top rope. Is he going? Yep. He's climbing to the top of the cage. Oh no. What is he going to do? Homicide chasing after him. Please don't die chants from the crowd. Oh god, another damn ad. Seriously. Oh, I can skip all these. Okay. 15 minutes. It must be just like every few minutes or whatever, that cuz it's really annoying. We got a very innovative Tower of Doom spot coming here, where Homicide's trying to suplex AJ off the top of the cage. Daniel's trying to German suplex Homicide, and then Hernandez power bombs everyone except for AJ, who leaps off the top of the cage, crossbody onto Hernandez. Great stuff. Pinned by AJ. Homicide breaks it up. Got a cutter from Homicide. A Death Valley driver from Daniels to Homicide. And then Hernandez, just another overhead toss of Daniels. Just straight power by the big man. Now Hernandez is going to the top of the cage. Oh my goodness. He's not quite as steady. Oh, crash and burn. Daniels now trying to put the Angel's wings onto Hernandez. Now we have a coat hanger. A metal coat hanger that Homicide now has and is wrapped around Christopher Daniels' head and is choking him with it. Oh, and now Conan is pulling on the coat hanger from the outside of the ring. Those dastardly heels. Spinning heel kick by AJ. He's trying. He's fighting. Facebuster. The obligatory "This is awesome" chant. AJ going for the Styles Clash. Oh my goodness. Hernandez takes his head off. The Vertebreaker. And that's it. Homicide and Hernandez, LAX, are your new NWA Tag Team Champions. That was a really fun match. It's like that perfect, like I said, like I keep saying, it's that perfect time frame here. Like 15 to 20 minutes, just get in, get out. Great stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, really great match. And this is probably TNA's peak. I mean, if you think about it, they were kind of like, I don't know. There was enough things to like about TNA at this time. And before it all went to crap in a few years when they bring in Bischoff and Hogan. And one of the things too that I've been listening to the Jeff Jarrett podcast as they've gone along, and I can't wait till they get into more TNA stuff as it pertains to leading up to Bischoff and Hogan coming in, because it sounds like there's a lot there that I think we have some misconceptions on as a fan base, about how TNA and Jarrett and kind of his mindset for the company, and obviously like it's his podcast. It's his podcast, so yeah, he's probably going to try and make himself look out to be the sympathetic figure, but my perspective has changed on Jarrett listening to his show. So I would give that a chance. If you haven't yet, because I think it's a really good show. But anyways, so yeah, this is probably definitely the peak of my TNA fandom. So yeah, it's good. It's good to talk a little bit of TNA every now and then. What's gonna hurt? So, all right, guys, that'll do it for today. So yeah, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up and a comment and all that jazz. And until next time, see ya.